reasons now to keep my burdens left behind. I did not know what it would bring. Now I'm capable of everything.
Good morning, dreamers. Today we are going to talk about this little one. Let me see if I can get her in the camera. Miss Maizee. Maizee. It is Maizee's birthday today. Can you guys see her? I don't have my glasses on, so I can't even see if you could see her. Trying to get video or pictures of her is almost impossible because she's constantly moving around. But today, Miss Maizee here is 3 years old. Come on back out here, Maizee. Dilly's gonna eat a rock. There she is. She'll go after the stick, just so that Dilly can't get it. Here, let's see. Go get it. Oh, no, Dilly got it that time. Anyhow, Miss Maizee, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get her on camera. She's got too much energy. Oh, now she's going to go off with the stick. Hold on. That don't go in my house. Come on, outside. Oh. Come on, out. I said out. So, the story of Maizee. I drove the day after the Mayfield tornado. You be quiet. You be quiet. You get a stick. Oh my goodness, this is going to be impossible. The day after the Mayfield tornado, I drove for 24 hours straight to get Miss Maizee there from Kim at North and South Homestead. And she's on the east side of Kentucky. So we left here at 5 o'clock in the morning, Dilly and I. Dilly had no idea what I was up to. And we drove for hours. Come back over here. She's not going to get in the camera. Anyhow, we drove for hours. And by the time I got out there, it was dark. And I left Dilly in the car and I went inside and I picked out a puppy. She had 2 chocolate labs. And I knew I wanted a female. And I knew that I didn't want another black dog. I really wanted the white one so I could see her at night, but they someone already had dibs on the white one. So I had 2 chocolate labs to pick out, and I picked out Maizee because, come here, let's show them. Maizee, she has a white spot on her chest. If she'll move around, and if the big white spot will get out of the way. She has a white spot on her chest, the same as Dilly. And she has a little white dot on her toe, and Dilly has a teeny tiny white dot on her toe. So that's why I picked Maizee out of the 2, because she wasn't all chocolate. And they didn't know what her daddy was. Her mama was a lab. They didn't know what her daddy was. We now think that her daddy was a pit bull just because of her coat and the shape of her face. She's not gonna come over here. Why don't you cool up? She's usually out here barking at the fence. So I got Maizee. I put her in the car with Dilly. Dilly was in the front seat, and I put her on the floorboards. My idea was to get a crate at Walmart or something on the way to go get her. And all the Walmarts, the electricity was out because of the tornado, and all the Walmarts were closed, and I had no crate for her, no carrier, no, I had a leash, but I didn't have a collar for her, so I couldn't even contain her with the leash much. So anyhow, we just drove straight back. We stopped at my friend Debbie's house, and Debbie's got some great pictures of Maizee playing with her little kitten. But Dilly, when I put Maizee in the car, Dilly immediately turned her head and jumped in the back seat. Wouldn't have nothing to do with this puppy. She was a little upset with me. Huh, Maizee? Was she mad? And when I brought Maizee home, here, I'll turn this around. You guys could see me because Maizee's not going to want to stay in the picture. Anyhow, when I got Maizee home, Dilly didn't want to have nothing to do with her for like a month. I thought that, you know, Dilly was never going to forgive me for bringing this puppy home. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Go get her. Go get Dilly. You got a stick? Good girl. Are you learning to fetch? Maizee. Okay, drop it, Dilly. Okay, don't drop it. This puppy has so much energy. Go get her! Go get her! What, are you tired? Good potty. Good girl. Go get her. Go get Dilly. Okay, ladies, you ready to go inside? Maizee. Oh. And then I read up, and apparently that's how they establish alpha dog or whatever, is Dilly wouldn't have anything to do with her because Maizee was trying to instigate playing. But as soon as Maizee started ignoring her, then Dilly started initiating the playing, and then they got along. But Miss Maizee has a lot of energy. Miss Maizee is the reason why I have a fence around my yard, because I would let her go out to go potty, and she would take off into the forest way out there. What do you think of that fence? Dilly, get out of there. Leave it. Maizee, what do you think of your new fence? She's also the only dog I've ever known of who is terrified of squirrels. And so she'd take off into the forest until she saw a squirrel, and then she would come barreling back to the house like there was something terrifying in the forest. And she is still like a very timid dog. She's very afraid of, if there's people around, she'll go in the house and hide under my desk. If there's, you know, machinery out here, like when Clay was doing all that work and stuff, she just goes in the house and hides. The garbage man comes, she comes in the house and hides. So she's not very aggressive at all. Probably because she hasn't been socialized much. But if she sees a cat or another dog, or a fox, we have a fox that comes out here. And if she sees one of those animals, she will stand here and bark at him for days. So she's also terrified of the water hose, because I didn't have water for the first 2 years that she was here, and gave her a bath, and she was just terrified. If I turn on the water hose, she immediately runs in the house because she don't know about that water hose thing very much yet. So yeah, there's that. There's Miss Maizee. She's got her own little personality, don't you? But she's a super, super sweet dog. She's always coming over for loves and pets and wants massages. And her other favorite thing to do is, I got all these nuts. Let's see if I could find some. Acorns and they're not hazelnuts, they're filbert, I think. Can't remember the name of the nut, but anyhow, they're these big nuts that fall out of the trees, and Miss Maizee will crack them open with her teeth and eat them. So that's her favorite thing to do outside, is she runs around hunting for nuts, which is probably what she's doing right now. But she hunts down the nuts and she cracks them open, and she leaves, oops, oh my goodness, I'm breaking my camera. She leaves the shells with the really sharp edges on the floor in the house, and then I step on them barefoot. Miss Dilly is still crazy over rocks, balls, sticks. Whatever she can get her mouth on. So, today is Miss Maizee's 3rd birthday. See, she's not going to stay in the camera. She's camera shy. Which is why I don't have a bunch of pictures or anything with her. Will you? Hey. Gross. Anyhow, and she has so much energy that she's the reason why I got Titus. So most of the time, Maizee and Titus spend their day out here scrapping, and Dilly stays in the house and ignores them both. So when I got Titus, Dilly didn't care at all. She was, look at, they want to be right here next to me instead of in the camera. But when I got Titus, Dilly couldn't care less. She played with Titus a little bit, but she just lets Maizee and Titus do their thing. Huh. She says, I'm too old for that playing stuff. Anyhow, so that's going to be today's video, because I have a bunch of work to do. I'm going to video it. I'll do it on time lapse, and then I'll do a voiceover, and you guys will see that video in a couple days. But I want to go ahead and get this one edited and up to you guys so that I can get to work. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Oops, I forgot to tell you guys how Maizee got her name. Maizee, how'd you get the name Maizee? Because she's a corny dog. Ha ha.
I have found my reasons now to keep my